The racers blazed past Julieta and the other bureaucrats and down the dusty, barren racetrack. The track was determined by small red flags sticking up from the ground to mark where you needed to be. The racers quickly found out that there wasn't much room horizontally, so some racers started trying to pull ahead. Mollusky shifted into high gear, and Antoine followed him to the front of the pack of the racers. They weren't in front for long, though, because Kettle Cooked shot up into the air and behind the pack, activated his wings and parachute, and glided through the air along with Floris, who had launched into the sky in her jet. Out of nowhere, Dust Bowl suddenly drove off the track and onto a road to a giant rock. "What does he think he's doing?" asked Dolly. "Maybe he realizes that he's too slow and he's going to quit," sneered Tabby. Dust Bowl kept riding his mechanical horse up the giant rock, and when he got to the top, he simply waited for the others to get to the track besides the rock. Once they got there, the racers all looked up to see what Dust Bowl was going to do. Suddenly, Dust Bowl adjusted the saddle on the mechanical horse and backflipped off the horse as well as the giant rock. Everyone gasped in horror as Dust Bowl jumped off, but since the racers were all paying attention to Dust Bowl, they weren't paying attention to the race, so they all swerved and wrecked into each other in a giant crash. Kettle Cooked's parachute got caught in Floris' jet engine and they both fell from the sky in a crash landing. Dust Bowl had grabbed onto the edge of the rock before he fell, preventing what looked like his death. Dust Bowl quickly swung himself back onto the rock, mounted his mechanical horse, and sped down the rock and onto the track, passing everyone else who were still trying to recover from the crash. "That dirty cheater!" shouted Dolly. "He faked his own death just to get us to crash!" "You gotta admit, it was a smart move," admitted Tabby. "He's got some wicked skill, that's for sure." "Let's focus on getting our vehicles back up and running," said Mollusky. "We're all very behind now." "I'd say that it's not that we're behind. It's that Dust Bowl's ahead," said Kettle Cooked. "This just goes to show that if we try to fight each other along with everything else we have to deal with in this race, none of us will make it to the finish line. So I say we all stick together, because none of us are getting anywhere if we don't," said Mollusky to everyone. "I say we go with Mollusky's plan," said Tabby. "If we keep getting ourselves in fights the whole race, none of us will survive the actual dangers. Besides, Mollusky seems to know what he's talking about." Mollusky blushed, appreciating the trust of Tabby. "You bet he does!" cheered Antoine. "He's pretty much like the second smartest and second most caring person I've ever met!" "Okay, it's good that we have all reached an agreement," said Mollusky. "Wait, the second smartest and second most caring? Who's the first?" "A man I love. A man I used to know," said Antoine. "A teammate, as well. We were in a superhero team once." "Wait, what? A superhero team?" screamed Mollusky. "You're a superhero?" "I was a superhero once, like about 2 years ago, before I moved to no such land," Antoine said, his voice filled with nostalgia. "Wait, I'm a real big fan of superheroes," said Rodney. "Which superhero are they? I probably know who they are." Antoine tipped his baker's hat with a nostalgic smile and said, "His superhero name was Lunchtime Man."